Ladies and gents, so I think I am recording. Hopefully I am. All good. All right, so I just wanted to give you guys an intro to section 10.7, which is independent and dependent events. So I have some files that I would like you guys to print and keep as your notes. You can follow along with me. I'm going to go through the textbook and do like 3 different videos for the examples in the textbook. There's 3 examples in section 10.7. And then I'll complete chapter 10, and then we'll have a quiz on Friday. All right, so in section 10.7, we're going to take a look at here, example 1. So in example 1, what's going to start happening now with our probabilities is that we're going to be putting more than just one event together, and we have to label them as either independent or dependent. So for our first one here, in terms of our event, we have an independent event, which is right here, and then we have our dependent event. So example 1 is going to be classifying our different events together. So an independent event is when there is an event where one occurrence does not affect the other one. So if you take a look at example 1A here, it says tell whether the events are independent or dependent. So the first one says here, a dime lands heads up and then a nickel lands heads up. So here are 2 events. You're flipping a dime and then you're also flipping a nickel. Okay, so that's 2 events here. Sorry, I know it's sloppy. That we're trying to figure out whether it's independent or dependent. So if I flip a dime, those results wouldn't change or wouldn't affect the results from the nickel. So therefore, that would be considered an independent event. But if you take a look at example 1B, it says here you choose a game piece in a colored game piece in a board game, and then your sister picks another color. So if you go first, okay, and then your sister's going to go second, depending on what you pick, will actually now affect your sister's pick. So if she really wants something and then you end up picking it, it's not there when her turn comes around. So that would be known as a dependent event. So if you take a look at the check it out examples here in 1A, 1B, same thing. Tell whether the event is independent or dependent. So for 1A, a number cube lands showing an odd number, and then it's rolled again. Well, when you roll it again, all the probabilities start all over again. And then the second time shows that it's landing on 6. So that would be known as a independent event. In 1B, one student in your class is chosen for a project, and then another student in the class is chosen. So here, once that first student goes, then once the second student goes, there's one less person to choose from. So that would be known as a dependent event. So now I'm going to end this first video somehow, and I want you to go and do some practice problems tonight for homework. So take a look on page 754. Why don't you do numbers 2 through 6 right now? And all you're doing is labeling if it's independent or dependent.